The arrangement of petals or the pattern of arrangement of sepals and petals in a flower bud is called aestivation. How the petals and sepals are oriented in a flower bud. Yesterday I asked you to cut the flower bud and see in a blade. എന്നാൽ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തവർക്കൊക്കെ ഒരു കാര്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കി ആയി കാണും. ഒരു ഫ്ലവർ ബഡിനകത്ത് പെറ്റലും സെപ്പലും ഒക്കെ ഒരു സൈക്ലിക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏതോ ഒക്കെ ഒരു പാറ്റേണിലാണ് അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. So this pattern of arrangement of sepals and petals in a floral bud is called aestivation. Aestivation are of three types: valvate, twisted and imbricate. Aestivation is of three types. They are valvate, twisted and imbricate. So let's see what is valvate aestivation and what is twisted aestivation. See this diagram. See the position of mouse. This is the first flower bud, and in this, if you see the margins of these represent either petals or sepals. You can take both the petals and sepals show aestivation, and this is petals. In this petals, what you can observe is petals are not fused; they are free, so they are polypetalous. But fusion illa, adutha onnichu chernilla, so they are free. And the margin of petals are just standing as such. അതിനകത്ത് overlapping ഒന്നുമില്ല. Margin overlap ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഇല്ല. There is no overlapping in the margin. So when the petals are arranged in the form of a circle without any overlapping, this kind of an arrangement is called valvate aestivation. This kind of an arrangement is called valvate aestivation. And in the second case, if you see this diagram, here the margin of the sepals and petals are showing an overlapping. One end of the petal is inside, see this, and the other end is outer. So there is an each petal or sepal, one end will be inside and the other end will be outside. See this, one end is inside, other end is outside. So each sepal or petal has one end inside and one end outside. This is called twisted aestivation. And this third one, if you see this aestivation, one sepal is inside, the two sepals are ഒരു സൈഡ് അകത്തും ഒരു സൈഡ് പുറത്തും, ഒരെണ്ണം കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി വെളിയിൽ. You see this, see, in the third case, and that is called imbricate. In imbricate, one sepal is completely inside, one petal is completely outside, the other petals are in and out. See this petal is inside, this petal is outside, the other petals are in and out. So this kind of an arrangement is called imbricate. This kind of one in, one out, others in and out is called imbricate. And if you see the fourth diagram, this and this petals are inside, these two petals are outside, and one is in and out. That is two outside, two petals inside and one petal in and out. So two in, two out, one in and out. That is called a quinquential. So one in, one out, three in and out are called imbricate. 2 in, 2 out, 1 in and out are called quinquential estivation. And lastly, one petal is huge and it's outside. 2 petals are fused and it is inside. And the 2 petals are in and out. See, this is the large petal and it is also called keel petal. Large petal is outside. 2 smaller petals are fused to form a single petal. They are inside. And 2 petals are in and out. So 1 out, 2 in and out. And this condition is called vexillary. So may I repeat this estivation once again. When all petals or sepals are arranged in the form of a ring without overlapping, they are called valvate estivation. When the petals are arranged in a circular fashion with their one end outside and one end inside, this is called twisted estivation. When one petal is inside, one petal is outside and all other petals are arranged in and out, it is called imbricate estivation. When the petals are arranged in 2 outside, 2 inside and 1 in and out, it is called quinquential estivation. When one petal is large, 2 smaller petals are fused at the other side, and when the 2 petals are in and out, they are called vexillary estivation. So arrangement of petals and sepals in a flower bud is called estivation. In valvate, the petals and sepals are arranged side by side. In twisted, there is a regular overlapping in one direction. In imbricate, the margins of sepals and petals overlap one another but not in any definite direction. In vexillary, large petal is called vexillum, overlap the 2 lateral petals and 2 smallest anterior petals are fused. Now let's see the structure of androecium. What is androecium? The male reproductive structure of a flower is called androecium. Androecium is formed of units called stamens. So the units of androecium is called stamens. When the stamens are free, they are called polyandrous condition. Polyandrous condition. When the stamens are many and they are free, they are called polyandrous condition. When the stamens are located on the petal, in some plants you can see the stamens are fused to the petal. When the petals are fused, or when the in gamopetalous condition, sometimes the stamens are arranged above the petal and it's called epipetalous condition. Okay, and if you see each stamen, see this the diagram, they are having a filament and they are having an anther and a connective. The stalk of the stamen is called filament. The uppermost portion where the pollen grains are formed are called anther. And the region where the filament is connected to an anther is called connective. So filament, anther and connective. So these are the filaments and this is the anther. And the point of fusion is called connective. And it is the male sex organ. The anther is the male sex organ. And if you take the cross section of this anther, you will see cavities inside. And within them, pollen grains will be arranged. Within them, pollen grains will be arranged. When you take the cross section of an anther, if it is containing only one cavity, it is called a monothecous anther. When you take the cross section, if it contains only one cavity, it is called monothecous anther. And if it contain more than one cavity, they are called dithecous anther. If two cavities are there, it is called bithecous anther. And the stalk of the stamen is called filament. And filament helps in the dispersal of pollen grain. And if the filaments are free, or normally a flower will contain multiple stamens, of which if the filaments are free and if the stamens are united, their condition is called monadelphous. So if the filaments are free and the stamens are there is an error. If the stamens are united by their filament, അതായത് ഫിലമെന്റ് ഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് ഒറ്റ യൂണിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മാറിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, സ്റ്റേമൻസ് ഫ്രീ ആണ്. നിങ്ങൾ നോക്കിയാൽ അറിയാം, ചെമ്പരത്തി, ഇഫ് യു ടേക്ക് ദ കേസ് ഓഫ് മാൽവേസിയെ, ഇൻ മാൽവേസിയെ all the stamens are fused to form a tube. ആ ട്യൂബിന്റെ മുകളറ്റത്ത് വന്ന് കുറെ കുഞ്ഞു ഫിലമെന്റിൽ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് കാണാം? സ്റ്റേമൻസ് കാണാം. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ട്യൂബ് എല്ലാം, the filament of the stamens are fused. അപ്പൊ അതിന് പറയുന്ന പേരാണ് അഡൽഫി. So when they form into, when the filament of the stamens are fused to form a one group, one tube, that is called a monadelphous condition. In വേറെ ചില പ്ലാന്റ്സിൽ ഫിലമെന്റ് ഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് രണ്ട് സെറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നിൽക്കും, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് കോൾഡ് ഡയഡൽഫസ്. ആൻഡ് ചില കേസുകളിൽ ഫിലമെന്റ് ഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് കുറെ സെറ്റുകളായിട്ട്, കുറെ സ്റ്റേമൻസ് വീതം ഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ സെറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നിൽക്കും, ദാറ്റ് കണ്ടീഷൻ ഇസ് കോൾഡ് പോളിയഡൽഫസ് കണ്ടീഷൻ. സോ മോണോഡൽഫസ്, ഡയഡൽഫസ് ആൻഡ് polyadolphous condition. See this diagram. In diagram A represent Malvaceae, and this is the monoadelphous condition. It form a tube. Tube stamens are free. The anthers are free. Filament is united. ഈ മുകളിൽ കാണുന്നത് അകത്തൂടെ വരുന്ന ഗൈനീഷ്യം. And this is the case of second one, diadelphous. Two set of stem. This is one set and this is two set. And this is polyadelphous. Multiple stamens, multiple group of stamens with filaments fused. Here there are 5 sets. And when filaments are free and when stamens are fused, there is also a condition like that. Filaments of the stamens will be free and the anthers will be fused. And when filaments are free and anthers are fused, such a condition is called syngenesious condition. Such a condition is called syngenesious condition. And what is anther? The uppermost swollen fertile part of a stamen is called anther. And normally it contains 2 lobes or 1 lobe. And if it contains 2 lobes, so it contains 2 cavities, so it is called a dithecous anther. If it is containing only 1 lobe, it is called monothecous anther. See this diagram. See, this is monothecous, it has only one side, one cavity. See this dithecous, it is having 2 lobes, 1 lobe this side and 1 lobe this side. If you take the cross section of monothecous anther, it will having 1 cavity. If you take the cross section of these two, since there are 2 lobes, you will be having 2 cavities. Okay. Now, as I told you, when the filaments are free and the anther is fused, sometimes the filaments are free and the anther is fused, that condition is called syngenesious stamens. Syngenesious stamens. There are also cases where both the filaments of the stamen and the anther is fused. Both the filaments and anther is fused. Such a condition is called synandrous condition. So monadelphous or adelphi means filaments fused. Syngenesious means filaments free, anthers fused. Synandry means both filaments and anther of the stamens are fused. And the region where there is a sterile region in a stamen, that is called connective, and this connective will be the fusion point between the fertile lobes and the filament. Filament രണ്ട് ഫെർട്ടൈൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആന്തർ ലോബും തമ്മിൽ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോയിന്റ് ആണ് connective. And the innermost whorl of a flower is called a gynoecium. That is a female reproductive part. And it is the fourth whorl made up of multiple units. And the units of gynoecium are called a carpel. And this is equivalent to megasporophyll. It's also called a megasporophyll. And the ovules are called megaspores. Andrecium is called microsporophyll. The pollen grains are called microspores. When a gynoecium has only one carpel, it is called monocarpellary gynoecium. So gynoecium is female reproductive part. The units are called carpels. When only one carpel is present in a gynoecium, that is called monocarpellary gynoecium. When two carpels are present, it is called bicarpellary gynoecium. When three carpels are present, it is called tricarpellary gynoecium. When four carpels are present, it is called tetracarpellary gynoecium. And when five carpels are present, it is called pentacarpellary gynoecium. And when there is presence of more than five carpels, that is called polycarpellary gynoecium. See the diagram. So this is three carpels, so tricarpellary. So there are many. This is polycarpellary. And if this number of carpels are 4, they are called tetracarpellary. And more than 5 will become polycarpellary. If there are multiple carpels in gynoecium and if the carpels are free, that condition is called apocarpous condition. If the carpels are more and if they are free, totally free, it is called the parts of a carpel is style, stigma and ovary. Ovary, style and stigma. Ovary is the basal swollen part. See this diagram, this is ovary and this is the stalk is called style and the upper receptive region is called stigma. When in apocarpous condition, all these regions are free. But if in syncarpous condition, see the second diagram, the ovary is fused and the filaments and stigma are free. When the ovary is fused, it is called syncarpous condition. Then it's called syncarpous condition. So see this diagram. This is monocarpous. This is apocarpous. Carpels are free. This is syncarpous. The carpels are united. Okay. See, this is an apocarpous gynoecium. See here, the gynoecium are free. And see, if you see this diagram, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carpels, but the carpels are united. So this is a syncarpous condition and this is apocarpous condition. So if you see each carpel, it has 3 parts. Basal swollen part is called ovary. The elongated strand called style and upper receptive portion called stigma. So when you take the cross section of this ovary, see for example, I can just tell you one thing. This is the ovary. So this is the ovary. And if you take the cross section of this ovary, ovary can be having cavities. Ovary has a cavity. And if the ovary is having only one cavity, it is called unilocular ovary. And if it is having 2 cavities, it is called a bilocular ovary. And if it is having 3 cavities, they are called a trilocular ovary. And if the ovary is having 4 chambers, it is called a tetralocular. And if it contains 5 locules, it is called a pentalocular ovary. This is the case not with apocarpous condition. This is like each ovary, how many cavities are there within the ovary. So this is the cross section of ovary. See, this contains only one cavity. This is called monolocular. 2 cavity bilocular. 3 cavity trilocular. 5 cavity pentalocular. 4 tetralocular. So this is the case of locular condition in the ovary. So each ovary contains a central placenta. This is an ovary cross section. Ovary contains a central region where ovules are connected. This central swollen region where ovules are connected are called placenta. And the chamber of ovary is called locule. And the mode of arrangement of ovule to The placenta is called placentation. Placentation. The presence of placenta can be either center. The placenta can be located on the middle and it is called axial placentation. It can also be marginal. If the placenta is on the margin of this ovary wall, it is called marginal placentation. See this diagram. This is the pea plants, and in pea plants, the ovary is arranged on the wall, or the placenta is located on the wall, and hence the ovules are arranged or attached to the wall of the fruit, wall of the ovule, and this kind of placentation is called marginal placentation. And the second one is called axile. This happens with Malvaceae family. Within the locules, ovules are arranged on the axis, or the placenta is located on the middle, and it is called axial placentation. And this is the third case where the placenta is arranged on the fruit wall on all sides. This is called parietal placentation. Parietal placentation. This you can see in the case of cucumber. And third one is called a free central. Fourth one is called a free central placentation. Here, the ovule is not divided into locules, but ovary is not divided into locules, but ovules are arranged on the middle on an axial placenta, but there is no locules, and this is called free central, centrally arranged, freely attached. So it is called a free central placentation. The last one is called a basal placentation. This is Compositae family കാണുന്നതാണ്. The sunflower family കാണുന്നതാണ് basal placentation. Here, placenta is located to the base of the ovary. Ovary യുടെ ബേസിലാണ് placenta attached ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. This is called the basal placentation. So, placentation is the mode of arrangement of ovules to ovary, and this placentation is of different types. They are marginal, axial, parietal, free central, and basal. So we can continue the remaining portion on the next class. Thank you very much for your patient listen.